Hello there guys, it's me and I'm going to be showing you, this is my first video, math how-tos. I like math, so I'm going to show you guys how to do some stuff. Try to explain it in the best light, because I know that there's some things in math that don't really come easy to a lot of people, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. So the first thing we're going to do, this first episode is going to only be about Pythagorean Theorem. Pythagorean Theorem is a simple way to find the hypotenuse, which is the longest side of a right triangle. And I'll explain to you how it works. So let's get clear canvas. Let's go over what a right triangle is first. Right triangle is a triangle with an angle that has one 90-degree angle. So this side that is opposite of the right angle is the hypotenuse, and these two other smaller sides are the legs. They're going to be smaller than the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse will always be larger. Now, how exactly does Pythagorean theorem work? Well, let's see. Pythagorean theorem says that the square, so when I say square, I mean if you square the length of each side. So squaring is when you have an exponent of 2. So 2 squared equals 2 times 2, which is 4. So, yeah. So let's say that this side is 3 and this side is 4. When I take the squares of both of these, which was going to be 9 and 16 respectively, and I add those two squares up, it's going to equal the square of the hypotenuse. So it's going to equal the square. Sorry for this bad drawing. It's going to equal the square of this. And 9 plus 16 is 25. And if I want to find what the hypotenuse is, I find the square root of the square of the hypotenuse. And the square root of 25 is 5. Now, I'm going to give you a hint. This is the only triangle. A 3, 4, 5 triangle, right triangle, is the only triangle that will have the 3 consecutive sides. So it's going to be 3, 4, 5. There's no 4, 5, 6 or 6, 7, 8. It's the only one is 3, 4, 5. Now, yeah, that's the only consecutive one. Some other ones, if you have, okay, here, I'll show you. Some other cool triangles that there are for a right triangle is a 5, 12, 13. So 5 here, that's the size of this leg, and then 12 here. 25 squared, 5 squared is 25, plus 12 squared is 144. That's going to equal 169. And the square root of 169 is 13. I'll write this down. Yeah, sorry for the... It's kind of hard drawing with the mouse. But that is 13. So that is basically all Pythagorean theorem is. And if you want to write it out, you basically just do this. It's just a squared, and that symbol right there means exponent, by the way. A squared plus b squared. So the squares are right here are the legs, equals c squared. And c squared will always be the square of the hypotenuse. So when you square over the first leg and you square the second leg, it will equal the square of the hypotenuse. Now, what if I have a triangle and I know what the hypotenuse is, and I know one of the legs, but I don't know what this one is? Well, that's simple. You just simply reverse it. But when you reverse it, you have to make it so that it's c squared, or the square of the hypotenuse minus the square of the leg you have, and that will equal your missing side. And typically, whenever you see something, A is going to be the smaller leg, and B will be the larger leg, but it's not always like that. So let's solve this. 9 squared is 81. Let me get my, yep. 9 squared is 81 plus 4 squared, not plus, 81 minus 4 squared is 16 So what's it going to be? That's going to be 11, 7, 5, 6. So b squared, gotta remember, this is what b squared equals, 65. Now, since 65 is not a perfect square, when you write it, you can just leave it as a radical, or just it says the square root of 65, because that's what b equals, just the square root of 65. You don't need to show an answer, because you already have your answer right there. Unless the problem says to show it as a decimal, you don't need to change it. So that is it. That's how you do Pythagorean Theorem. I hope this helped explain some stuff. Look forward to making more of these videos. Probably have a bunch today because I like math. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day.